Simple. My, my name is Dustin. I'm so glad you're here. This stream will be starting soon, so grab your coffee, get comfortable, and settle in. We're building a strong and supportive community, so say hello in the chat, ask questions, and feel free to use super chats if there's anything that you want to see highlighted. Thank you for being here and being a part of this journey. Let's keep it positive and respectful as we connect and grow together. I can't wait to get started. Good morning, everybody. Thank you all so very much for being here. Truly appreciate each and every one of you. So glad to be here. I love it here. I love you guys. Sunday is going to be one of my most favoriteest days of the week. You guys got your coffee? I have my coffee. Oh my goodness. All my wonderful people are here. Scroll up and say hello to you guys. But first, I haven't had any coffee today. I've been waiting to have it with you guys. Can you believe it? You probably can. That's how we do it all the time. Coffee. Hmm. Evelyn. Good morning, dear. Good morning, friends. Hit the like button. Yes, indeed. Please hit the like button. Do all the things. I love this. Evelyn is not so evil today. Evelyn says, if you are a new friend, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you. If you're a returning friend, please share what you've been up to lately. I appreciate that. That's very helpful and helps us have things to talk about today. I'm always struggling going in the night before Saturday night. What am I going to talk about tomorrow? When I'm setting up the live, what am I going to talk about? How am I going to fill this time with my friends? And it seems like I'm always talking about my personal struggles week to week, my successes. But I mean, really, that's what we're here for, right? We're here to discuss that and talk about that because that's what we're all dealing with week in, week out, is just the little wins, the little losses, the struggles, the things that we have to do each week to maintain. Because some weeks we're on autopilot, some weeks we're not. Like, I have to go to the store later today, and I'm going to be getting things for our girl for lunches tomorrow. Or just tomorrow, she's got a field trip, and she's excited about the field trip. And so we're not going to send her the normal lunch we send her. And I'm trying to think, what can we send her? I'll have to go get some lunch meat and send her a lunch meat sandwich. And maybe like some chips or something. It's like, it's like you don't want to give them that kind of stuff. At the same time, she's going to be going out on a field trip, so she's not going to have access to the normal stuff. We'll send her a bottle of water, that kind of stuff. So, that's kind of what we're dealing with. Everything revolves around her. And I want to say thank you, a huge thank you to Evelyn. She sent our girl, the girl, if you will, the sweetest package with with all kinds of like bookmarks and just stickers and so much cool stuff that it was a legitimate fight to get her in the car to get her to school on time on Friday. She wanted to look at every single little piece of things that Evelyn sent. And I felt like an awful person because I'm cutting over the top. I'm cutting open the package. And she had put everything in this nice little cardboard like envelope with a little handle, and I cut the handle and I felt so bad. I felt so bad. I was like, I was trying to cut it. I was like, I was like, "It doesn't look like there's anything in there," and I cut right through the handle, and I'm like, "Oh." Yeah. Brian is in the house every morning. Good morning, everyone. Remember, you are what you eat. Eat meat. Today I'm coffee. Amy, my good friend Amy is here. Thank you so much for being here, dear. Welcome. Good morning, everyone, she says. Stacy, good morning, Stacy and Ken. I hope you're doing very wonderful. I hope Ken is doing well. I see you've been out doing I saw that she got some sun. She was out gardening this last week. I'm excited for that. Better you than me. I'm not a big fan of gardening. Bride's biscuit is in the house. Thank you for being here. Sup, fam? Yes. Brian's got a good point, and I'm not sure. I think PhD fits better on a T-shirt, but says PhD should be referred to as PHWE, proper human way of eating. Yeah, and I think that's the thing is I think there's so much that goes into that, and there's so many struggles that people have. There's so many arguments that people have because while we're all supposed to eat a proper human diet, the spectrum of a proper human diet is a little big. Some people can handle eating vegetables, some people can't. Some people can have eggs, some people can't. Some people can have dairy, some people can't. Some people like beef and can tolerate beef just fine. Some people can't. I have a friend and he gets all kinds of issues when he tries to eat beef. He eats a lot of chicken and stuff. We don't eat pork, not for any religious affiliations or anything like that, mainly because pork gives us heartburn, and indigestion. My own hypothesis on that is the fact that pork you have to cook all the way. Basically, pork is well done. And we're more used to eating rare. Even my burger, I get the frozen burger patties if I'm making fresh burgers. Everything I cook is rare. Beef is rare. I mean, bacon we I tolerate bacon okay. Shander does not. She doesn't do well with bacon. And so she eats it sparingly. We used to eat a lot of pork roasts. Those were delicious. They were always so good, but now like they just it's the same thing if you cook like if we cook like a beef roast in the crock pot. We go and we eat it, it just seems to sit in our stomach. It just seems to sit there. It just doesn't digest well. Andy is in the house. Good morning, dear. She says, "Good morning, everybody." And Sean is here. Good morning, everyone. And Karen is here. Good morning, Karen. And Lindy is here. Paleo Barbie does keto. Good morning, friends. I'm glad to see you, Lindy. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Amy says, "Hey, Andy, I'm sorry I missed your call last night. We had friends over around the campfire. I'll reach out today." Well, that's very nice. This morning, I'm proudly announcing that after 15 years, 3 months, 10 days, my son and I are talking again, and it's been a wonderful 2 weeks of talking and texting, great communication. Well, that's fantastic. I love that. I love that. And Stacy's asking, what has everyone been up to this week? Ken is in recovery mode, and I've been yard working. Yeah, I saw those. I saw that sun you've been getting, Stacy. How's Ken? Give our love. I mean, he may still be asleep. If he's awake, he can hear me. Hey, Ken. If he's asleep, well, just give him our love when he wakes up. Don't force him to be awake if he's in recovery mode. He needs his rest. Jeff is here. Hello, everyone. Let's see. Oh, Andy said she wanted to tell Amy about their sons having birthdays very close to each other. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know what's going on. Like I had to reboot my computer like 4 times, and then like things aren't working. Like the camera will come up, but then like the audio processor won't come through. It's just It's fun. I even started earlier today than normal, so my apologies for being tardy. John Googahan is in the house. Good morning, sir. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Scott is in the house. Good morning, Scott. Platte River Keto's in the house. Donna is here. Hi, y'all. Hey, Donna. Oh, let's see. Andy said last night Susan said that she never thought she'd have a man talking to her in bed Sunday mornings. I love that. Gonna turn the lights down low. Well, it's dark and rainy and kind of it's cold here. It's colder here today than it was yesterday, and I'm here for it. I love it. Like I'm thinking about like going right back to bed for a little while after this because it's cold, it's rainy, it's drizzly, it's kind of meh, kind of into it. I'm kind of into it. I'm here for it. Oh, let's see. Aaron is here. The booby goats is here. Good morning, Aaron. I was guys watching a little bit of your video. I don't know if it's the newest one or whatever the one you were talking about getting monetized. Everyone say congratulations to Booby Goats for getting monetized. We know just how difficult that can be. Getting that halfway point monetization at 500 subscribers with like 3,000 watch hours is a difficult proposition, and then even going full monetization with with 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, it's so very difficult to get those watch hours and to get everything in order and to keep it and maintain it. But I found with going live frequently, even with a smaller audience that I have, it truly does help me maintain those watch hours. Where I was always struggling, worried that I was going to fall under the 4,000 watch hour cap. Because if you fall under the 4,000 watch hours, because basically the way that it works is every day the hours you get today last for 365 days. So so 365 days. So a year ago yesterday those fell off. So you need to maintain 4,000 watch hours for the entirety to maintain your enrollment in the partnership or being what's called monetized. And uh luckily with us with the live streams that we do, um, we are keeping an average of about 10,000 watch hours. It's gone down some because I missed a couple of lives last month, and that does drop it. I went from having like almost an average of about 1,000 hours a month down to like 600. So I mean, it varies and it can go down and go away very quickly. Because I mean, I get video views and such, but I haven't been putting out as much full length content as normal. I did put out a video this last week about the ketone pee strips, the urine strips. Very short, quick to the point video. It's definitely worth a watch if you haven't had a chance to watch that yet. It's only got about 110 views. But if you guys want to go and watch that, that would be greatly appreciated. Like it, share it out. Anybody you may think that may benefit from that information. Very important, very important. But again, congratulations to you, Aaron, on that. Stacy says we have a lot of garlic growing, Dustin. I know you like that part of gardening. I love the garlic and I love the onions. Oh, and just your overall pepper blend. Oh, I love it. I use your stuff all the time. I think we are finally out of all of the eggs that we got from you from the meetup in Elkhart. So I'm gonna hopefully you're gonna be bringing eggs. Hopefully you guys are feeling well enough to join us on our May 24th meetup here in Central Indiana, AMO. Hope a lot of you are willing to come out and wanted to come out and hang out with us. It's a good time. We're gonna have a lot of food. If you want to find out the details, head on over to lowcarbevents.com. Join us. There's a $25 fee, but that is to cover all the cost of the meats that are coming down, the meats are being prepared, all that. And again, Joe and Rachel will be in town for that as well. So if you want to come and hang out with us and have plenty of time and space to really have a good conversation with everybody who's there, that's the perfect time to do it because usually kicks off between 11 and 12. People can start showing up at 11, and then we usually wrap things up about 5. So there's a good amount of time to sit and chat and have a good time. And, there's no speakers, there's nothing like that. We do have things to give away like goodie bags and stuff like that all the time. So you never know what's going to be in those. But, come out and hang out with us. And if you are feeling up to it, Stacy, I would like some more eggs, and I'll probably reach out to you closer to time to tell you how many we need. So, yeah, I know you'll bring enough if you have them. Aaron says that I'm almost all better. I'm recovering from a sinus infection and bacterial pneumonia. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm so glad that you're feeling better, dear. That's got to be rough. And she says I accidentally started OMAD and lost 5 pounds. Could have been the illness though. That is a very well. That's a yeah. If it wasn't for me drinking my coffee in the morning with heavy cream and butter in it, and having food later in the day, I'm usually more OMAD. But it's not really considered OMAD because this is a meal. Let's face it. There's enough butter and cream in here. This is a meal. Amy said they had a derby watch party. I forget about that because I don't know. I forget that there's the derby. I would forget about that. Like legitimately forget about that. Andy says that it is definitely has changed my cortisol. And I'm feeling all warm and fuzzy inside again. Truly wonderful. Well, that's fantastic. It's like a warm hug. Becky says, "Good morning. I can't find your channel this morning. YouTube didn't notify me. YouTube does weird things from time to time. So glad you found us. Glad you're here. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you." Let's see. Amy said, Andy and Susan, I was in the shower a minute ago while Dustin was talking through the fan speaker. So I'm showering with Amy. I'm in bed with Susan. What's going on here? Must be a lucky gentleman. Yep. Sean's gonna go see Metallica. Who's opening for Metallica? I've seen that Limp Bizkit's been doing it recently. Is Limp Bizkit opening for that show for you guys? I love Limp Bizkit. Like with their first record, I saw them a couple times on that first tour, on their first cycle for that first $3 bill y'all record. I even met them and got my album signed by them way back when in like 1998, and I got to see them twice in '98. Saw them at Ozfest, and then I saw them again at Family Values '98. That was pretty awesome. But then their later stuff was just like Significant Other was a good record. It had like break stuff and all that. It was okay, but then but that first record just hit so good. It was such a good record. Lindy says it's hard. I'm still trying to get there with my channel. It's so difficult when you're dealing with just like long form format or just making videos and releasing videos and doing shorts because you don't make any watch hours from shorts. So you could get 1,000 watch hours from a short if it blows up and goes crazy, but you don't get that counted towards your watch hours to be monetized. The only way you can get monetized via shorts is from having 10 million views or whatever it is in 90 days. So the best course of action is just go live. And I know it's difficult. A lot of people aren't set up for that, don't have the time for that, don't really have the desire to do that. But that's really what helped. I was able to get monetized without doing lives. Luckily, somehow, I don't understand really how that happened, but I was able to do it. but then I do truly maintain that number of hours just by being live. Oh yeah, that's I'm glad to see people sharing Aaron's channel out. There we go. Andy says, I'll be at the AMO meetup. I have to get Jackie our money. Yes. Brian Doyle is in the house. Hello, my friend. Hello, hello. I hope you're doing well. I wish you could be there too, Lindy. That would be awesome. You live too far away. She said, I wish I could come. I miss my peeps. 100%. Amy says, I'm sorry. I will miss the meetup this year. Well, we do it twice a year. That's the plan anyway. If everything goes according to plan, we'll do it again sometime in November. October is gonna be a very busy month for us. So, like in October, like the 2nd of October, I think it's a Thursday. Our oldest son is getting married, and we were last week. We went. Shannon and I met them at the venue where they're getting married, and it's back tucked away, like because we grew up on the west side of Indianapolis, and we had like no idea like really what was going on with it, and so we didn't even know it was there. Let me see if I can find it. 'Cause I want to share this with you guys. Um, it's a gorgeous place. So let me see if I can bring this in. Hmm. Trying to figure out how to share this screen though. Hmm. Let's see if we can go back to doing this here. That's what I want to show you. Here we go. So let's take a look. So this is the venue. So like you can see this place is pretty pretty nice. It's on a little lake. It's like fully customizable. Like they're like all these things you can plan and move things around and how you want to do the tables. There's a terrace view here. they're gonna do the wedding on the Green Acres side of things, like right out here. So like out here on the lawn out here, if you can see over here on the left hand side. I don't know if you can't see my pointer, but it's there. And there's two different cabins. They have two different cabins for the bride and groom to get ready. The groom's cabin is like ridiculous. Like it's the kind of place I would want to rent as like an Airbnb, but she doesn't rent it out because they're doing a wedding on a Thursday. There's a wedding on a Friday, Saturday, and that Sunday. And it's going to be gorgeous. Hopefully the leaves are turned just right so they get all the fall colors. Hopefully it's not too cool, but just enough. Yeah, it's just super awesome, and I'm like super excited about it because you know super excited about it because it looks amazing, and I'm so excited for them. But so the funny thing is Shannon and I both had this like misconception that it's going to be like this warehouse looking thing, and it was going to be weird, and it was not going to be pretty. And we walk in, we're like legitimately like, oh my goodness. Cindy's in the house. Good morning, Cindy. Yeah, I agree, Cindy. It would be great to have Lindy there. Stacy says, "We will plan to bring eggs to eat to Amo, $4 a dozen. We are also planning on going to Meat Stock in Tennessee, but it all depends on Ken's ability to travel." Well, I hope that he is feeling good about everything and he has all the abilities to do all the things because I want you guys to be out there and having all the fun. Oh my goodness, I didn't even see this. Sean Bradley, I can't believe it. You are too generous, my friend. It says, Shell and I can't be there at the meetup, but this is to help cover expenses. You are amazing. Thank you so very much. Truly appreciate you both. You both are just so amazing, and I can't believe it. Oh my goodness. Thank you so very much. It really means the world to me. It really does. Reminds me of the time that like Jen Delaney, she was like, "Oh," because we talked about like how these super chats make me emotional, and so she donated a $10 super chat just so she's like, "Just to see you cry." I was like, "Come on!" Oh my goodness, she was amazing, and Sean, you guys are great. Oh my goodness. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cindy, they're in Florida. I was looking for the live Friday night. There were no lives Friday night, and I was like, "Where is everybody?" Oh, but alas, you're here. I hope that was a good meetup. I saw you guys and all the pictures and stuff. It looked amazing. Aaron says, "So jelly if Limp Biscuit is opening." Yeah, I love early Limp Biscuit, and if they would do a show where they're playing like basically if they played like $3 Bill Y'all all the way through, I'd be super excited about that. Their later stuff like the Roland stuff and all that stuff like later on like the chocolate starfish and all. I'm not a fan of that, but the early stuff was so good and so powerful. Yeah, Cindy. Central Florida Keto Meetup was great. Oh, that's dope. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So basically Pantera with Zach Wild and is it I think it's John Tempesta, isn't it? From Testament and all that stuff. Isn't that who that is? I can't remember what his name is. I've seen Pantera twice. I haven't seen the tribute. Um but I have seen Metallica twice. I saw them in 98. They did a tour with Jerry Cantrell and Days of the New, and I went to that show. That was pretty good. Then I saw them a couple years later down in Sparta, Kentucky. at the Sparta racetrack, and something had happened to James Hetfield, and he didn't perform. He wasn't there, so it was like Kid Rock and Jonathan Davis from Korn, and who else played? Serge Tankian from System of a Down, and all these people all performed Metallica songs with Metallica. And it was just before Jason Newsted left the band, and he performed a song or two with Metallica as the frontman, and then he left the band because one, he was never really treated as a member of the band. You know, they were like, especially if you understand like the politics of the band and what happened when Cliff died, and they brought in Jason Newsted. They never quite they were so hung up over the fact that Cliff was gone, and they were so mad that Cliff was gone because they couldn't do anything about it, obviously. And then they bring in Jason, and he's just not Cliff, and they treated him like garbage. And even like you can tell, like on the Injustice for All album, there's no bass. Like they just turned his bass all the way down. They didn't. It was just bad. Amy loves Metallica. How cool. My favorite when they performed with the symphony in the 90s. That was okay. It wasn't bad, I guess. Not my favorite. Julie in the Pines is here. Good morning, everyone. I will be listening and dozing. That sounds like a plan. Yes, subscribe to Paleo Barbie. Go subscribe to my friend Lindy. She's a good person. Let's see. Yeah, unfortunately though, the thing about YouTube Shorts is typically they draw in people who only want to watch shorts. So, I mean, I don't know. I wish I imagine eventually they'll kind of come out with a conversion tool. Like if you can get on and look at your analytics and look deep, dig deep into your analytics, then you can kind of see like I got these subscribers from this short, and these subscribers have gone on to watch more shorts, lives, or have they watched any long form content? So typically, like the people who are here for the live show up for the lives, people who watch your content, and people who watch your shorts just watch shorts. Um, that's the way that it seems. And not that, and but shorts are important if they're to me. I think shorts need to be they need to tell a story. They need to provide some kind of meaningful content. I try that. I've tried some of the like the little quick little things to see if it would get whatever, and yeah. Aaron says I do live streams. I'm not even set up for it. Okay. Well, I mean, you don't have to be all fancy. You can just do it with your phone and go live. I've done that, but having the ability to go live and have a program because I use a program called EV I used to use StreamYard, but StreamYard decided they were going to double their price and go from 25 a month to basically $50 a month. So I switched to EV and it gives me a lot of control. Um, there's a lot I can do in here. I mean, as you can tell, I still haven't figured it all out yet because there is so much to do. Um, but yeah, and don't forget tonight, Chris, Victor, and I will be live. We're Keto Crusade. So that'll be at 8 p.m. tonight Eastern Standard Time. The three of us. Let's see. Donna says, my 17-year-old. Well, is it going to. There we go. Donna says, my 17-year-old listens to Master of Puppets. Walked into the bedroom one day while I was blasting, and I was like, was headbanging like it was the late 80s and told her, you should check out Queensryche. Queensryche is good. Testament's good. Um, King's X is good. And then, I mean, there's so much stuff from the 80s and the 90s. You get into like, oh man, so much good stuff. This would go sideways real fast. But anyway, yeah. Amy says, I'm not good at making shorts. What software does everyone use? Because I hate using the YouTube platform. I use DaVinci Resolve. And if you're interested in DaVinci Resolve, Chris and I did a quick kind of startup guide a couple of months ago on how we utilize it, but it was mainly just for long form. You can do the same thing for shorts. It's like when you're setting up your timeline, you just flop the numbers instead of 1080p by whatever 1920 or whatever it is. You just switch it. But I can always help you out with that as well. Carnivore Dan is in the house. What is a good let's see, what a good time. Good to meet people. I love it. Thank you for being here, Mr. Carnivore Dan. Amy loves Queensryche. Aaron just uses the YouTube creator. That YouTube creator app is just like so clunky. Now, granted, the program that I use, I have the studio version, which is a paid version. I Full disclosure, I did not pay for it. It's $300, and I was gifted it by a bigger creator, a creator that utilizes it and makes content around that program. So Daniel Patel, he even has a whole line of shorts. His content utilizes shorts perfectly. It's called basically puts out a whole shorts stuff. It's called DaVinci Resolve for Noobs, and he started working with DaVinci Resolve after they found his content, and they sent him like all of their products. They have a whole bunch of stuff, keyboards and color graders and all these things that cost thousands of dollars. And every time you buy one of their products, you buy a camera, you buy a keyboard, a speed editor, you buy any of these things from them, it comes with the studio version of Resolve. So he got like 10 pieces of equipment from them and gave those away, and he gave me one. So I'm able to use the studio version, which is the full untethered version. But I've only had that less than a year now, like for 6 months maybe. And so for most of the time, me editing my own content, I've used Resolve, the free version. There's more than enough in the free version that most people probably would never even need the full studio version. The studio version has some stuff behind the paywall, like there's some really cool AI tools that kind of go in and auto create cool looking um, captions and stuff. You know, Sean loves Queensryche too. Operation Mindcrime was on repeat. Like I think I started thinking about like the late '80s and the mid into the '90s. I started thinking about like Carcass. I started thinking about At the Gates. You started getting into the Swedish and the Swedish metal stuff like that. So much good stuff out there. Paradise Lost, all that stuff. Amy says, "Yeah, I tried, but didn't like how it worked for shorts." I guess there's a thing if you pay for the pro or whatever the premium. Um, let's see, what's that program that I use? I use the free version of what am I looking for here? Okay, Adobe Express. I guess Adobe Express can make and you can make your shorts and schedule them to upload to all your platforms and stuff, but you got to pay a monthly fee for that. So, I mean, that just depends. Like you can use DaVinci Resolve. There is a decent learning curve, but it's free and it gets updated all the time. Lots and lots and lots of good free features. I mean, it's a robust platform, and I mean, they make movies with it. I mean, that's like they're making TV shows and movies with this. I mean, granted, they're using like the big red cameras and all that stuff, but they're using the legitimate movie cameras and all that stuff. But you can get almost cinematic looking stuff with your phone. Pretty amazing stuff. Oh, let's see. Cindy has made very few shorts, but use YouTube and iMovie like everything else. Like, I've tried to just to edit things out of my videos before, and it's like forever. I don't know. I don't understand. Scott says, I felt a bit out of touch during tax season to the pulse of keto. Do you know anything about allulose and the GLP-1 like Ozempic? So I guess there's like a GLP-1 because so GLP-1 is a natural kind of body process that happens in the body. I don't know much about it, so I'm far from any kind of expert, but I can kind of give you like the high level kind of the whether or not kind of give you at least enough to make you want to go and dig a little deeper. So GLP-1 is kind of a bodily process that happens naturally. And my understanding is if you add a little bit of allulose into your diet every day, allulose has been shown to act like a GLP-1 as well. So it kind of boosts a little bit. We're talking small, like I know when he gets here, he can confirm this. But Chris Cook in Nashville puts a little bit of allulose in his coffee every morning. Maybe, I don't know, maybe a teaspoon or two, maybe I don't know. I think you can use like as small as a teaspoon. I don't really know. Because allulose isn't all that sweet. It's like it's like half as sweet or three quarters as sweet as sugar. So if you put like a teaspoon, you probably wouldn't even notice in there if you're having a coffee like this size. But I mean, you can take it. I mean, it's difficult to find. Like I think you can find it like Kroger. Like you don't see it at Walmart yet. I know you can order big bags on Amazon and all that stuff, but yeah, I mean, I just don't necessarily know. I haven't found an application where that works for me either. There's also something new that I found. There's like a C15 peptide or like what an amino acid or what I'm probably just pulling words in on my rear end here, but um like I guess they're saying you take like a teaspoon, like a tablespoon or two of butter before you go to bed. That's supposed to help you. I'm like, I eat a lot of butter. There's like half a stick of butter in this coffee right now. So I don't know. Matt Franklin is in the house. Good morning, Matt. I've missed you on my Sunday mornings. Glad to see you. I hope you all had fun with Cindy yesterday and the two crazy ketos. Well, at least I know that, and at least Rachel was there. I don't know if Joe is back or not, but welcome, welcome. Glad to see you. I hope Sarah's doing well. I know she's got her new startup business going. Fascinated to see how that all goes. Truly there to help support her. She's doing awesome stuff. Oh, I still haven't got a chance to meet my friend Matt. I've met Sarah briefly. Lindy says I use an app called Power Director to make all my videos and shorts. There's a lot of apps out there, and video editing is getting easier and easier these days. You know. All right, so we're kind of getting now finally to some of the stuff here that was a yeah, the beautiful view. The venue looks amazing. Yeah, I mean, it's I was legitimately shocked, and like them doing on a Thursday, so much cheaper. It's like a third or half the price. I was kind of thinking if I could, so if we did it, if I was thinking about maybe having a meetup there, but I would have to be able to have commitment from like 200 people. And I think it would probably be like 40 or 50. It would have to be like 40 or 50 bucks a person for to cover the cost of the venue. And it'd have to have, I don't know if they make, if we can cook the food there or if they have to do a catering. I don't know. I'd have to sit down and talk with the lady. I didn't want to ask her while we were going over all the stuff for the wedding because the wedding took the precedent. But it's beautiful. And it'd be kind of a cool place to do a meetup because you can have the venue for like 12 hours, like 11 to 11, 10 to 10, whatever. And they'll set up all the stuff and have the tables and it would be really nice. And it would hold it. The only thing is like like our venue in Amo holds 110. This place holds 250. But I've just been in the back of my mind, I'm just keeping the idea that like there's no KPL this year. I would say not to hold your breath if there's going to be one next year. Um, well, I'm just considering that I haven't had any contact with Autumn and such since KPL, and she doesn't do lives anymore on her channel. She's not really involved in the community, at least not that I'm seeing anyway. Um, I mean, I might be wrong on that impact, but I mean, um, I just feel like we're missing something the community oriented, big enough to get the community out. But I mean, it would only be a 1 day thing and not a 3 day thing like KPL. But I'm always thinking, I'm always trying to kind of get an idea of what we could do to kind of get the most people together because 250 people would be close to KPL size. I know we got to like 350, but yeah, I don't know. I'm always thinking of how we can make it happen to where I'm not out like $100,000 because I know KPL was like between probably getting closer to 80, $90,000. Because I mean, if you start looking at like what she charged everybody, like the $250 or whatever it was, $200 by 300 people, 350 people, and then you're dealing with all the catering and all that oh, just crazy amounts and all the work that goes in to make sure, and then they still don't get it right. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Yeah, may the 4th be with you. That's right. Tomorrow's Revenge of the 5th. Um, Jeff Foltz says, Scott, I make a frozen custard with allulose, eat 3/4 a cup most evenings. That's pretty good. Let's see. Rick is in the house. He said I had to lock Milton in the garage so I could vacuum my living room and take the trash out. Your kitten is crazy. Mm. I love coffee. So good. What did I miss here? Let's see. Dan said something. Yeah, I missed something. Okay. So Annie says something. Oh no, Dan, you can't think of her in a certain kind of way. She's so down to earth and would love to give you a hug and take a picture next time. Oh my goodness. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you got to remember, like, one thing about people here, like when we're on, like, I'm sitting here by myself in this room. I've got a camera right here, microphone here. I'm just here, and I'm talking to all of you. And in person's a lot different because in person, if you're in a meetup and there's 50 people, there's 50 people there. That's more than what you're around a lot, and everybody knows who you are, but you don't always know who they are. And then as you get to bigger and bigger meetups like KPL and things like that, then you're going to run into people who don't know who you are, or you're not sure if they know who you are. I mean, there's like, especially when you're like someone like Joe and Rachel, because Joe's pretty shy in person. I met him a few times, and finally, this last meetup, he actually kind of came up to me and gave me a hug, which I usually had to go up to him and be like, "I need a hug, Joe." It's kind of one of those things, and it's just getting to know people. It's hard, and then like your social battery is kind of like in flux a little bit too. The old me would have used the super chat money for 2 beers and a concert. Yeah, I should. I felt bad because I wanted to go see Paul Bearer last night. They played here in Indy, and I'm one of my favorite live bands. Just yeah, I wanted to go see him play. I just didn't get it. It was like it had been like $40, which isn't bad as far as concerts go these days. But yeah, I just didn't get a chance to do it. I didn't have it in me. I was kind of yesterday was kind of a down day for me. So let's see. Dan says it's silly. She chatted with me, drew me out of my shell. She is like a celebrity. Yeah, she really is. She's like you don't think it's like when you because I had to go look it up. I started following them in 2019. I started keto in 2016. I didn't find them or didn't follow them until 2019. I don't know if I had saw their videos earlier or not. That because you can go into your deep into your Google Analytics and see when you started following people. But I have another account. So my this account I did so the Keto Simple account didn't get started till 2020. My buddy made the account for me, edited a video, my first video that's up on the channel, and I had an account that I've been using for years and years just to watch YouTube, not make any content, just watch it. And that's why I was watching them and all kinds of other channels that I liked. So I found them in 2019 and they've just kind of been a staple of my life ever since. So like when you finally do get a chance to meet them, it is like meeting a legitimate celebrity. It's like meeting like a celebrity that's kind of family because they know who you are, you know who they are, you know. That's just kind of how it kind of really does come out and feel that way. Yeah, I was right about the drummer. Okay, cool. Cool, cool. Carnivore Dan has seen Metallica twice as well. Eka Vandal is opening for Limp Bizkit. I'd go just to see them. I'm not sure. I don't know who that is. And Andy says she's a friend you'll never want to leave. I'm blessed to have her. I've had several hours with her on the cruises they host. Yeah, I would love the cruise aspect of it because you can hang out with people, or then you could just kind of disappear for a while and go do your own thing, and then come back to the people. You know what I mean? Andy's even in the videos. That's how you know it's for really real. Rick is talking trash again. Here we go. Forget the heavy metal stuff. I started my day with Martin Denny with a Martin Denny record. How old are you, Rick? Are you like 100? Like, I mean, come on, buddy. Like, come on, man. I don't know. I don't even know who Martin Denny is. Let me look this up. Who is Martin Denny? I have no idea. Martin Denny, born April 10th, 1911. So he was like in between my two great grandparents. My great grandfather was born in 1910. My great grandmother was born in two, or, and my great grandmother was born in 1912. Martin Denny, an American pianist, composer, and arranger, known for father of Exotica. Oh, so you're getting freaky deaky with your records, Rick. I know you. I see you. I see you. Okay. Genre, jazz, new age. Okay. All right. I see you. I see you. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Sean, my friend Adam, who works for the TV station down in Bowling Green, has a podcast, and he has one of the dudes from Coheed on his podcast. So check that out. Yeah, Mastodon is worth a watch. I know that like their guy quit, so I'm not sure how they sound now, but they have two records that I really love. I love their Once More Around the Sun, and there's a record that I really love. I have to look it up and see what it's called. Um, it's only like a 4 or 5 song EP. It's called Cold Dark Places or Cold Dark Place. It came out in 2017. It's an EP. It's like it's such a removal from the rest of Mastodon. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, they've even got like a live at Aragon. I've seen Mastodon a few times, but Once More Around the Sun is one of my favorite records by them. And then A Cold Dark Place. Those two records, they're like so good, so good. So if you're a fan of Mastodon, check those two releases out. Oh, wow. Way to trump us all there. Saw Metallica in '82 with Dave's last show, and Cliff. Holy shoo! Holy shnikes! That would be so amazing. The cat attacked the trash can and spread it all over the My cat has been jumping in the trash can and pulling stuff out. They all both of our trash cans have lids. Like we have 2 trash cans in like the kitchen dining room area. I don't know how we generate so much trash. I just have no idea, but we just do. Yeah. Yes, may the 4th be with you too, Scott. Cindy, she says, Rachel sang happy birthday to me yesterday. Nancy, Hope, Andy, Sarah, and Matt had all along with others signed and gave me a birthday card. Nancy made my own little coconut cream pie. Oh, that's so sweet. I mean, Rick is correct to a degree. A vast majority of people on YouTube will not. I mean, once you are in a monetized or in a partner program, there are so few people in the partner program, but there is no reason Rick can't get in the partner program. You go live for a long time, you have enough people watching, you've got over 1,000 subscribers. With your lives, if you continue them for about a year doing lives like you're doing, there's no reason you can't get into the partner program. There's absolutely no reason unless they deem some of your content unmonetizable. But I don't really see that happening. Yeah. Rick says Milton is like a dog who follows me everywhere. And it's like a Tasmanian devil, it sounds like. Christian Delorme. Good morning, my friend. Bonjour, everybody. He ho ho ho. Rick's Rick's like, I do lives without StreamYard or anything. That's fine. Listening to Benny Goodman and the big band. I hear you. Dan says that I've been off camera for a while. A little funk lately, not really good content there, practice videos. Just press record. Just do it. It's difficult. I got to take my own advice. I'm currently working on a video myself. I'm working on the thumbnail and I'm trying to get it right. And I've got got all the information and everything, and I'm sorting it out to how I want to do it. I've even got some B-roll to go in there, some B-roll that I've downloaded and stuff like that. Um, I wonder though, because the content that this video is going to be about something that's been bothering me since our granddaughter was born. So our granddaughter was born, and her mother wasn't able to really breastfeed her very well. She wasn't getting enough, breast milk, so we had to put her on formula. And I went digging trying to find a decent formula. There are literally no decent formulas. Like, you basically have to find the lesser of the evils when it comes to formula. Like, you can find these formulas that are like, it's modeled after breast milk. It's as close to breast milk as you can get. But they then boast how much monounsaturated fats are in the breast milk. They don't have enough. They don't have enough saturated fat to equal true breast milk, and that's infuriating to me. And my thing is like, how are we still in a situation where we're doing this, where we have the understanding, but we're still not giving babies truly what they need? And I'm going to make this video, and I know I'll probably get pushback because I'm a guy, and I'm making a video about breast milk versus formula, but it's not about whether you should or shouldn't breastfeed or can or can't. It has no bearing on it. It's about the differences between breast milk and formula, and why is formula still made. First off, formula is at a high premium of cost. Formula is expensive. It's like $40 a can. If you get like the family size cans are like 40, $50 a can. And They're with the cheapest, lowest quality ingredients on the market. Maltodextrin, low-fat milk powder, canola oil, high fructose corn syrup, solids or whatever you want. And it's like the cheapest, lowest quality ingredients, and we're still doing it. So I mean, I have to make the video. And I know I'll probably get pushback. Why are you making? Well, I don't see anybody else making it. But anyway, I digress. Yeah. Let's see. Rick says, I spent a long time going through the YouTube music library, but found some I like for my channel. I use music from there all the time. I pull music out of there, and all my shorts, I use music from the free library. So there's plenty of stuff you can use. Is it the best? No. But I mean, I even have access to some of the other stuff. Like I have access to one of the like uh where you can pull like it's a web service where you can pull down like B-roll, music and all that stuff. I just haven't found anything that's worth the trouble going through to make sure that I don't get a copyright strike or whatever using that music. But yeah. Dan uses CapCut. Rick is in the house, Twinbrook Acres. Good morning, my friend. Amy says, I'm much better with at DaVinci. If it's similar to making regular vids, I can do that. Yeah, all you're doing is just changing the aspect ratio, basically turning a long form video on its side. So you're just flipping the whatever instead of 1080 by whatever, you're just 1980 by 1080 or whatever. You just flip that and then you just make it, and it's basically the exact same, just a different aspect ratio. You got to zoom in like content a little bit more, whatever. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. Amy says, I need to redo my spider video. The video has over 100,000 watches, but it's on my other channel. You could probably do it in a way to where you could probably make it into it, cut it and make it into a short and have yourself in it. So you're kind of like, I don't know. We can talk about that later. Andy says, I've never gotten into metal music. So all this talk is going over my head. Journey, Air Supply, REO Speedwagon are my vibes. Most of the 80s is awesome compared to the stuff coming out now. I mean, I find that there's like I love 80s pop music. I love 80s like rock. There's 70s. There's good music in every era. There's good music coming out now. It's just a matter of what are your tastes, and my tastes shift. I mean, I listen to a lot of Taylor Swift now. I wonder why. Because someone I know is a Wifty. So we listen to a lot of that. But I mean, for me, I like such a wide variety of music that there's always cool stuff coming out. Like always new bands coming out with stuff, new bands disappear, new bands show up. I go see live metal. I love live metal music because it's affordable still. Amy says I listen to Operation Mindcrime and Empire on repeat. That's just craziness. Cindy loves music from the 70s. Carnivore Dan's asking Andy how to find her channel. Just type in Milady Laugh a Lot in the search, you should find it. And Evelyn has already got that there. That's pretty good. Is Booby Goats out of here? Take it easy. Gotta go shopping. Have a good one. I think she said in the video she has 10 kids. That's insanity. We have one granddaughter, and I'm like pulling my hair out. Woo, 10 kids. Oh man, I know. Some people are just built different. Like I don't. I came in, got with Chandra, and like her kids were teenagers, and I don't wish that on anybody. Man, that's 10. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Rick loves 40s at 40s to 60s. That makes sense. Brian says I finally broke down and paid to eliminate ads on YouTube. It was getting ridiculous. When I started utilizing YouTube, it was called YouTube Red because I paid for Google Music. It was basically like Google's version of Spotify before Spotify really took over. And I loved it. It was a better all around way to listen to music. You could create playlists a lot easier. I could go in every day and just start dumping albums into like a queue and listen to them, and I could just kind of what am I feeling like today, and I would just add an album and just add albums and add albums, and then the search was better. Like the everything was just better. Like the thing with Spotify is like it's all playlists. Like if you search something you want to listen to, like the best of the '80s, it's what somebody put together in a playlist. And it has nothing to do with actually what was best of the '80s. So yeah. Evelyn said if you'd like a channel shared, just ask. The power of asking is so much more beneficial than anyone will ever understand. Cindy says, please share mine. I'm on my phone and cannot. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, yeah. So one crazy keto. Yep. She's crazy enough for the both of them, but she's amazing. Janet from another planet's in the house. Good morning, my friend. Well, I don't know why this is. There we go. Janet from another planet. Thank you for being here, my friend. I'm glad to see you. Rick is off to ruck with his dogs. I hope you enjoy that. Enjoy listening and rucking with them dogs. Cindy's asking, where is the venue? It's around the corner from my house. It's like, it's so close. Like for the wedding, Shannon and I are going to Uber because they're going to have an open bar. And we don't necessarily drink much, but like we reserve like drinking for like when we do drink, it's going to be something like a wedding. We're going to have some drinks at a wedding. We're going to have drinks on the beach if we go to the beach, like if we go on vacation, but we don't drink on a regular basis. But something like a wedding, I think truly qualifies for a good a reason, a good celebration. So I mean, that's kind of like how we see it, and like it's going to be pretty fun. It's going to be a small. I mean, it's going to be. I think they're going to have 60 to 70 people in attendance or something like that. Yeah, that's another problem. It's like I want to do a meetup and like I want to do a bigger meetup. Like I kind of have something that can kind of maybe turn into a KPL type thing. But like I know people just can't afford because KPL is kind of like a full on vacation. Like like if you are coming in with two people, like a husband and spouse, like a husband and wife going, then you're eating the cost of like a $700 for a month or a $700 hotel stay for the weekend. Then if you're flying in, then you know what I mean, or you're driving in and all the food, you're spending $1,000+ for KPL. I mean, you add on the ticket, that's $1,000. That's a big amount of money. I mean, I got lucky and I split the cost with Adam. So like the hotel room was like 350 for the both of us. I got an early ticket for less than $200. Whatever was like 299 or whatever, or 199 or whatever it was. You get the early special ticket or whatever. And then I drove down and I mean I did spend like the 80 some dollars and eat at the Brazilian place once. That was a lot. But that was a lot of fun. But I mean you those kind of events get so expensive and I know that it's worthwhile for like get people in for a few days. But if you do it for one day, I mean people aren't really going to want to fly in for one day. But a venue like that, like I just kind of have like every time like I kind of like, well, this would be good, but then I'm like the cons and the detractors of that kind of thing is just I don't know how to do it. Yeah, you're not wrong. Janet's asking, have I met all my wrenches in person? I believe so. I think I've met everybody in person. Ash Taylor, I've met. I've met Chris and Cindy, um, Evelyn. Yeah, I believe I have met just about everybody in person for the most part. I don't think there's anybody on here that I haven't met. Have a good one, Amy. See you soon, dear. Christian's asking, the ultimate meetups will be when I convince you and your lady to visit in Ottawa. I don't know if they'll let us across the border, mate. Let's see. Anybody remember Dr. Paul Bearer? Wasn't he the WWE guy, like the manager guy? Uh, Sonny's in the house. Good morning, dear. How are you? Becky's saying, I added a teaspoon of allulose to my 12-ounce coffee. It doesn't taste any different from black coffee. I buy my allulose at Thrive Market when they have big sale. That's a good idea. And if you're not noticing a difference and you're adding, and there's the possible GLP-1 benefit without like taking a GLP-1, that's not a big deal because I'm not necessarily pro or anti GLP-1. I just know a lot of the bigger dose medications out there, the injections have some pretty significant downsides, and I don't think we've seen them all yet. But Rick, you're a boring guy. It's like I've never been on a cruise, never wanted to. You're starting to sound like Chandra. Never been on, but she's been on cruises because her family used to rent boats and stuff back in the day. I've never been on one, but I can't say that I want to go on one. You know, yeah. Charlie from Anthrax is the drummer. Yeah. Charlie. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking John Tempesta. He was the drummer for White Zombie, if I'm not mistaken. I bet Dustin doesn't even know who the Tijuana Brass were. I can look it up. Tijuana Brass, Herb Albert. Herb Albert, the Tijuana Brass. I've heard of Herb Albert. I've heard of these people. I know music, man. Rick says, I went on a cruise. That was more than enough. My thing about cruising is I'd be like, there's so much food. I just want to eat all the time. Because aren't there places you can get like corn dogs and like French fries and hamburgers and hot dogs and all that stuff? I'd be like, oh, I'd be like, I'd come back 100 pounds heavier. Woo! Even on a low carb cruise, I'd be like, look at deer and eating, shoving pizza in my face. I don't know. Good morning, Susan. She's like, guess who's awake? Do your do like. I love you, Susan. It was funny. Like, can't believe I'm gonna be. Oh my goodness, that was hilarious what you said though. I love it. And then Amy's like listening and hearing Dustin in the shower. So showering with Amy, I'm in bed with Susan. You know how it goes. You know, you know. Karen's got to go. We'll have a great time. Thank you for being here. I truly appreciate you. People saying goodbye to people and hello to people. Rick's afraid of his own cat. Oh my goodness. I hope this cat settles down eventually. Maybe you could train maybe you can, like train your cat to catch iguana for you. Brian says, finally broke down and ordered compounded Ozempic. Still haven't fully convinced myself to take it. Because weren't you having success with some of the stuff that you were doing? you had found some success and started to go the right way. So I'm curious to see like kind of what made you decide to, at least to even think about doing this. Rick's channel, yeah, the Tasmanian Devil. Sonny says, I got fully monetized with AdSense just this past Monday with over 1,000 subs. Fantastic, Sonny. Congratulations. Becky says, I've been checking my ketones for the last 2 days and they're point 0.3. I'm doing OMAD today to see if it'll help. Anything else you recommend? I don't know. I don't see a problem with 0.03 or with point 0.3 millimolar because I mean, realistically, if you're doing OMAD and you're eating just right, I don't see why your body's utilizing you're utilizing the ketones you're making. I don't really necessarily think that you need to have a high level of blood ketones. You know, it's like we look at blood ketones and we want to have a high level of blood ketones, but we look at we want to have a low blood sugar count. So like like when I just figure that like having something and registering is just fine. I don't think that that's anything to, that's me, just me. I don't think that there's anything wrong with point 0.3, point 0.3, point 0.5. As long as you're above point 0.1, you're registering ketones, you're making ketones, you're utilizing ketones. I don't think it should be a numbers game. And I mean, there'd probably be people who argue that with me, and maybe somebody like Dr. Barry may have a better argument for why or why not, but I just kind of figure if you're at point 0.3, you're good. You're registering, you're probably running fine on ketones. I mean, if you want to see that number go up, if you just want to see the number go up, add coconut oil or MCTs to your diet. And as soon as you're like about a half hour after eating it, take your blood ketones. You're probably going to be higher. But I don't necessarily think there's a reason to be higher, to be honest with you. That's just the way I look at it. A boat is the best way to get the lizards. Here, lizard, lizard, lizard. Have you tried that? Have you tried going outside going, here, lizard, lizard? Have you tried that? Probably works real good. Yeah, I've met Sean. I think I've met all mine. Yeah, Cindy says some people have lower numbers than others, and I don't really see a problem with that. I honestly don't. I mean, you know, and I think if you've been doing this long enough, really, I mean, you're registering. I don't even know what mine would be right now if I tested mine. My testing kit's around here somewhere. I don't feel like pricking my finger today. But I just kind of think like I don't understand the idea that you need to chase a number, really, to be honest with you. As long as you're registering something, I think you're probably good to go. Imagine what YouTube would look like if it existed in 1960. Well, it'd be black and white, probably. Crazy, crazy stuff. Yeah, Dan says formula is trash. Sugar water. We wonder why kids have autism. I don't necessarily. I was kind of wondering that question last night. Like, I wonder, like, formula has been around since like the 1700s or even maybe earlier. Like the idea of a formula, but how they made it's been very different. But the thing is we know how to do things now, and we know what we should be doing now, but we go against it for some weird reason. And I don't know, like, you got to figure having vegetable oil and that kind of sugar and all that stuff into an infant is can't be the best. But I don't know. I honestly just don't know. Like, there's so many questions about things and like so many things that we have going on in our modern day chemicals in the air. There's, like Just the idea of brake dust from the automobiles is crazy. I don't know. It's just so much. You never know what you. I don't think we'll ever pinpoint anything down unless. Yeah. Lindy says I'm pretty much always testing at point three. This solidifies it. Rick is a crazy person. He said the last good music was in the 70s. 80s had good music. 90s had amazing music for me because that's like when I was truly finding myself and finding music, like Alice in Chains and so many amazing bands like that. Stuntable Pilots. Cindy says my ketones vary depending on what challenges I do for myself. But day to day, when I'm randomly checking, it's about point 0.3, point 0.4. And I think that's perfectly fine and reasonable. The idea that you got to be at least point 0.5 or you got to be, I'm a point 0.9. I don't think that, because we don't even really truly know the rate of the rate of fat oxidation and the rate of the liver producing the ketones, how we utilize them. Has anybody truly been able to explain the full mechanism? I don't know. Good morning, Ash. She says just popping in to say hello. Good morning, friends. Good morning, Ash. I'm glad to see you, dear. Everyone's always glad to see you guys. And Mel too. I saw the photos of Mel today that Chris took. Fantastic photos. Chris is here. Good morning, friend. My buddy Chris is here. What kind of camera did you get, Chris? I think maybe you responded to my text. Let me see. Oh, a fancy one. Canon EOS 90D. Now, are you going to be taking video with that, or are you just going to be doing that for photography? You got that for your uh to take photos of food and stuff, right? People saying to, oh, that's super cool. Going to meet with Victor Friday on our way back home. Well, that's super fun. I haven't had a chance to meet Victor yet. Look at all this love. Chris and Ash saying love to Susan and Mel and Ash and Chris. Yeah, Chris was saying like we love meeting everybody at KPL, but it was brutal financially. Yeah, it was an expensive endeavor, and it's one that I found truly worth it because I know that all the meetups where you're going to a destination, staying in a hotel, paying the money for the event, they're all expensive, and I don't know how people can afford to go to multiple of those a year. Like the meetups are great because like you're paying gas money, maybe a little bit of money for food, maybe a small entrance fee, and then you're spending the day with people. But like these big, huge things like KPL, I mean, I truly, truly enjoy, and I would go every year given the opportunity, the financial availability. But it's an expensive thing, and that's where you're basically having 300 people cover 100 grand. And it may not have been 100 grand, but realistically, as times go on, I'm sure it's getting more and more expensive. So yeah, I would just love to be able to have something that didn't cost so much, but getting people from the distances in is just the hardest thing. Cindy says they're going to see Hope and Andy today. Yeah. Jeremiah is in the house. Good morning, my friend. How are you guys doing? Oh, let's see. Yeah, I've met Sean. Yeah, I've met Sean a few times. Sean's an amazing man. But she was asking if I've met my moderators before, so I'm not sure. Like, for me, trying to remember who all my moderators are and who all I've met before. Risa's in the house. Good morning, Risa. Good to see you. Becky says, I can't be on a boat. Not without your flippy floppies. Motion sickness would kill me. I don't even know if you would notice it on a cruise ship. They say you don't notice it. But then again, there's like Dramamine and all that stuff. I don't know. I don't know if it would bother me or not. I honestly don't know. Chris says, I'm fine with the idea of natural GLP-1, boost using food, allulose, ACV, etc. I'm much more skeptical of the kind of pharmaceutical company makes money from, but I'm not informed enough to know. Yeah, that's how I feel. Like, I just know that there's been reports, and even Chandra's seen things in the hospital where people's like entire digestive systems just shut down and just turn off. And they're that way. Sometimes they don't come back on and the person just is gone. And that's terrifying for me. Like, I don't think the idea of losing body fat should be a life risking endeavor. We know too much about how losing weight works. Maybe even if it is anecdotal, but we know, like, you can, like, we know that there's precedent for people fasting for over a year with medical intervention, fasting and just having like some broth and taking vitamins and such, and they lose a lot of weight. That's far less deadly than injecting yourself weekly or monthly with some dangerous high dosage medication. And and I know that there's proponents and people of GLP-1s out there, and that's fine. I just don't know enough about it, and I'm still skeptical. And I think even if you are on board with them, you should still be slightly skeptical. I'm skeptical about a lot of things. Becky says, I put you on speaker. You're everywhere in the house. Oh, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Ash loves cruises. I think I would enjoy them if I was there with like people to hang out with. I think I would love like a 2KK cruise, low carb cruise kind of thing. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I don't necessarily know I'd want to be like completely like regimented. I'd want to be like, this is kind of, especially if it's a full vacation, I wouldn't mind having the ability to listen to a speaker or two or whatever, and kind of chill with people and talk and have a chance to have conversations with people that I don't really get a chance to see in person. You know what I mean? I think that would be really nice. Dr. Lisa. I'm not sure I'm familiar with Dr. Lisa Weideman. Weideman host cruises. Brian says I have gained or lost I haven't gained or lost any weight since October. But 255 is not a healthy weight. I understand, and I feel for that, and I just to me, like, I'm not sure which is the more unhealthier of the two. And like I said, I'm not an expert. I'm not informed enough to make that decision, or even to even have an opinion. But I'm skeptical. I'm always skeptical of pharmaceuticals, especially when they're like utilizing something like off label, and they're utilizing high dose for weight loss. And I know that there's a lot more people are losing more muscle mass than they are fat. So yeah, you're losing weight, but you're not losing the fat. And the fat is what's causing the problem. Having excess muscle is not causing the problem. So yeah, the scale's going down, but I don't know if the problem's reversing. And and I mean, and maybe that's, I don't know. I just worry about that kind of stuff. Yeah, my channel is actually called Reese's Cluttered Kitchen. We are working on making more content. We'll get after it. Andy says Lisa Weideman was in the December 2KK cruise in February and March. She had her own going for her cruise for her carnivore pals. Okay. Yeah, it's like I kind of see like carnivore kind of splits off from keto and carnivore don't really gel well sometimes. And I know there's some intersection with like my channel and such where it's like, we'll have carnivores coming in and stuff and keto people intermingling and stuff. But it seems like they want to like it seems like more divide and conquer kind of thing. Like carnivores want to be amongst carnivores and keto want to be among, but I don't understand that. Like to me, like we're all under the same umbrella. We're all here together. Yeah, Carnivore Dan's telling Brian you got to go zero carb, and Brian's like, Brian's been doing like doing a lot of different things, trying to mix things up. Ash says Dr. Lisa is wonderful. Chris and I love her. Met her while doing the Dr. Kiltz podcast. Great people. Oh, fantastic. Lindy says, Brian, I took it for a bit because I was stuck after losing 80 pounds for 2 years. It only helped me with 10 pounds, but I know others that has lost all. Yeah, lost a lot on it. Sean says YouTube in the 60s, live in Technicolor. The weird thing about it, go and look up Technicolor and see what they did. It's really weird how they made that work. So basically they're filming it in three different sections with three different colored lenses in front of it, and they mix it together to make color. Crazy. Crazy how they were doing that. Becky's asking, does Dramamine cause drowsiness as a side effect? To take small dose of Benadryl for hives and sleep all day. I used to take Benadryl like a crazy person. Back before keto, I was taking four Benadryl at a time, 4 to 5 times a day. I don't recommend that. I would not recommend that to anybody. Yeah, and Andy said they're doing so much better, and thank you for asking. And Ash is like, I'm so happy. Yeah, it's raining here too. And Chris is saying, Brian, you're doing great. Your body will lose weight when it's ready. You can't force it to do anything it's not ready to do. Don't beat yourself up for what's actually a natural response. Yeah, I think we just kind of get to the point where like we got to do it right now. And I mean, like I've been relatively the same weight for a while, and I'm always trying to maintain, and it's difficult sometimes. And Chris says, and Brian, don't take "you should do" statements so seriously. Everyone knows their own journey, but not yours. Video videos. He's going to take videos, which is photos and videos at the same time. All right. Andy said Luna woke up happy and scrappy, licking my face. She's excited that I actually came to bed last night. Couch sleeping has been normal routine, so no, I didn't get in trouble. Fell asleep before 9 p.m. I'm glad we don't have comfortable furniture like that. I mean, like I'll doze off sometimes in the recliner, but then Shannon won't go to bed without me, so we go to bed together no matter what. And Ash is saying, Brian, if I may, 100% agree with what Chris said above. I also remember hearing Dr. Barry and Nisha share something very similar with someone in a situation like yours. Hopefully that helps and encourages. And that's what we're here for. We're here for, to help and encourage. And we're not here to, as I don't pretend to know all the answers. All I know is what I've been through and what you guys share. And I do know that Brian Doyle has been in my chats for quite some time, and he's often very frustrated about a situation. And that's what I want to help him with is help lower that frustration because I know the frustration. That's difficult to deal with. You want something to work the way it works for others, and it's not always going to do it. And then you've got to work to find what's working best for you. And that's a difficult journey. It truly is a difficult journey. It's almost like we're all doing the same thing, but we're all on a journey kind of alone, even though we're doing it together. Because what works for Ash doesn't work for Risa, doesn't work for Brian, doesn't work for Dustin or Chris. And but we're all here to talk about what does work and what doesn't work because while the majority of people aren't going to react the same way that I do, there's always going to be people out there who do. So I'm glad that Brian continues to show up and be in these involved in these chats in this community, and he hasn't given up because that is a normal response for people who aren't seeing the results they want. They give up. And with that, I'm very proud because I'm glad you haven't given up because without all of you, I probably would have given up years ago. If it wasn't for Chandra and you guys, I would have given up. There are still times now I'm like, you know what? I could just go back to doing what I was doing and just call it a day. Eat what I want, when I want, how I want. If I want it, go get it. If I want, I just go and, like the boys came home last night with Church's chicken. I had a bite of one of their biscuits. I've never had a Church's chicken biscuit before. I don't understand how it's like a buttery, sweet biscuit on the front end and then tastes like cornbread on the back end. I don't understand how I don't know. It's witchcraft. I don't understand how they do it. But I mean, I'm dealing with that kind of stuff. The boys bring home stuff. We had some of their chicken tenders. The struggle is real. The struggle is real if you aren't off plan. The struggle is real if you're struggling to stay on plan. And with everything that's going to be happening in the future, and we'll know more about that as time goes on. Some of you do know, some of you don't. I have a big mouth. It's fine. I can't really keep it, but I can't really put it out. It is what it is. But, you know, we're all we're all human and we all have our struggles. And some of our struggles are self-induced. Some are outside, like, our boys coming home and bringing in all the craziest concoctions known to man. They had gummy popsicles the other day. Like, I didn't even know they made gummy popsicles. They were like Jello shot popsicles. It was the weirdest thing. They just bring the most random stuff into the house that I shouldn't be eating. And I'm like, this makes it difficult for me. And they're like, yeah, but they're in their 20s. What do they care? It is what it is. I just have to do my best to try to survive this, you know? Let's see. Yeah, KPL is not feasible for a lot of people. I mean, it wasn't even really, I went. Luckily, I was able to share a room and do all that stuff, but like, it's not happening this year, probably won't ever happen again. And I don't say that lightly. I just don't necessarily I just don't see it happening again. Would I love it to? Oh, 100%. I love being around everybody in one place. Having the opportunity to see speakers or not, and just hang out with people, go sit and have coffee, and just talk with people. Look people in the face. Hug everybody. You know? Oh, let's see. Ash says, "I love going to KPO, but we spent more attending that than it cost us to go to on a cruise to the Bahamas." Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, I guess it just comes down to like the reward, like 'cause, like looking at it as a cost based thing makes it difficult. But where else am I gonna find all of the all the people that I care about, all the people that I want to see all together in one place? I mean, yes, it's expensive. Is it possible to make it less pricey? Probably somehow. I mean, I drove, so that cut the cost. Split the room, that cut the cost. Got my ticket early, that cut the cost. But then there's like, you're only being like, if with that cost, it was only like two real meals that were provided over 3 to 4 days. So, you know, I mean, I miss it. I just don't expect it to be back again. And I'm always trying to think of how can I put together something, like that. Like I also think about like, then there's things like meat stock. That's like a whole week. That I mean, I don't know how much that's gonna cost. That's like $2,200, and you're not even like getting your own spot necessarily. I mean, there's a bunch of different. I mean, there's always a pro and con to everything. I'd love to go on a cruise and have everybody come with me. I'd love to have KPL on a boat. You know what I mean? Little electrolytes, little cherry chill. Ugh. And Chris is saying here to Brian, make because Brian said something up a little bit and was like, we've been doing it for 3 years. And Chris is saying, to Brian, it makes total sense. Do your experiments, work on your health. Just don't let it get you down and listen to people who authoritatively tell you what you're doing wrong. They don't know. It's true. And Lindy says, KPL was expensive, but I love seeing everyone. Yeah, it's kind of like that fine line. Like, yeah, I can get a cheap. I mean, we go to like, I mean, like I know, I think maybe like if we didn't buy all the souvenirs the time that Shannon and I went to Disney together, just the two of us, like the tickets and the hotel was like $2,200 for the two of us, and then we drove down. There was gas money there and back, and then all the souvenirs and food. We probably spent $4,000, but you know, yeah. So Becky said, I just heard about it today here, so I experimented with a teaspoon of allulose in my coffee just to find out how it tastes. Yeah. And Jerry's in the house. She says, "Good May 4th be to you all." Yes, yes. Don't forget tonight, Chris and Victor and I will be live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, live and direct with Keto. Oh, my brain. Keto Crusade. Oh my goodness. Again, we apologize for not having an April episode, but we're doing it tonight, May the 4th. We're going to hang out, have a good time. I hope you all will join us. People saying hello to Jerry and say goodbye to Jerry. And Brian says, I've been doing a lot of research the last 3 months from Dr. Boz, now suggesting it to others. I think the research is changing the initial thoughts recently. My only thing is the potential risk for things like your digestive system shutting down, things like that. There's just been some risks that come up that are like pretty terrifying to me. And I know like and I just have to look at like what's the risk versus the reward. I honestly don't know. And I think, you have to make that decision for you. And I we're here for you no matter what. Oh, let's see. What time is alive? Thinking about doing one after yours when we get back to the hotel. 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Central. We usually go about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Well, okay, so there's a question. How long have you been taking that med for blood pressure? Because I've heard that some blood pressure medications can inhibit weight loss. And I don't know, maybe look into the blood pressure medication and see if people see if they're looking if there's an issue with the blood pressure medication causing a stall in weight loss. Because I imagine there's information out there about that. And um, I've also known that are people utilizing, you know, doses of magnesium to help lower their blood pressure. Maybe see if that can help, and maybe work with a doctor to get your blood pressure, get off the blood pressure medication if that is the issue with your weight stall. Because I don't know how long you've been on the blood pressure medication, but that definitely could be a limiting factor in your weight loss. So I would definitely talk to your doctor about that as well. Well, I didn't doubt that for a second. He says, I'm going to stay low carb, but I didn't doubt that for a minute. There we go. The Keto Crusade link for tonight. Carl's in the house. My buddy Carl's here. Newsflash. If you are in ketosis, use fat for fuel. You are ketogenic. I don't care if you are labeled keto, carnivore, or keto. It's all the same. Stop fighting or telling my mom. I'm telling my mom. Please don't tell her. I don't want to get a whipping. Um, let's see. Rick might try to wait up if Cindy's doing a live tonight. Look at that. And Scott's back from his ruck. Fantastic. Everyone is different. I used to get angry and frustrated because Shell would eat. Let's see. What am I looking at here? Thanks for the GLP-1 discussion. I am skeptical too. I have a mental fight with myself about weight loss. I talk about focusing on the process and updating my um, process video update. And then Sean, I was looking at his comment and mixing them together. So Scott said, or Sean says, that is amazing thing about the human body. Everyone is different. I used to get angry and frustrated because Shell would eat something and nothing bad happens. I eat the same thing in diabetes. Yeah, that's the thing, you know. Yeah, and no one, I don't think anyone's, please don't give up. It's working progress, fast or slow, still progressing and still working on mine. That's what we're all here. That's why we show up on Sundays. That's why I'm here. That's why I do this. I mean, obviously I care about all of you, but it helps me too. It helps me maintain the control because I do feel like sometimes I'm losing control. Like I feel like I don't have control sometimes because of the distractions that are in the house, or I'm giving into something, or whatever, eating my feelings or whatever the case is. Yeah, and Lindy's right. Brian, some people just need more tools sometimes, just do what's best for you. And Sonny says, I know what you mean, Dustin. Everyone around me eats and brings home things that are hard. Not, I mean, that's the difficult thing. Like I go in there's like Ziplocs full of biscuits in the refrigerator, and I'm like, gonna have my beef patties. I mean, while I really enjoy that food and I enjoy eating those things, it's difficult to look past those things that you loved back in the day. Those things are good. They are delicious. They're designed to be delicious. They want you to love them. They want you to come back. Like, I miss you. Do you miss me? And I'm like, yes, yes, I do. And Becky says, thanks for being here, Dustin and y'all. It's very encouraging. Although most of the time I don't know the band or music Dustin mentions, but I'm here. I understand. Nobody knows all the stuff I'm talking about. I just throw it out there. It's fine. And he said, we had cherry chill the other day. It's one of Susan's favorite flavors. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for the future of salty. See what new things are around the bend. Risa says, just ordered keto chow, fruity cereal, and more daily minerals. Can't wait to get it now. Get new keto brains in 2 days ago. Oh, got new keto brains 2 days ago. Oh, fantastic. Let us know what you think about fruity cereal and all that stuff. If you haven't tried it before, I have a packet of fruity cereal right here somewhere. Yeah, right here. Fruity cereal right here. Don't forget, KetoSimple.shop. You can save 10% on all your keto chow and salty needs. You save 10% and I make 10%. Helps me out a lot. So if you're going to order keto chow and salty, do it for me. I'd appreciate it a lot. It helps me with my monthly expenses. Oh, Brian, uh, YouTube in the 60s was laughing. Yeah. Oh yeah, Carnivore Dan says I didn't mean to tell Brian the must or has to do something. It was just intended as a suggestion, but it has been there done. Yeah, but he has. Yeah, most of us are not new to this. I mean, I don't think there's anybody in here that's been doing this less than a year. I mean, most people who get up in the morning on a Sunday, hang out with me for as long as you do, you know, have been here, done that, and it's we're all just trying to maintain and try to figure things out. Well, I didn't put it together till last night. I was last minuting it, so I didn't even think about it to be honest with you. I maybe should have done something like that. But Risa said, my son told me he wants to watch a Star Wars movie with me on Mother's Day. We haven't watched any in years. Yeah. Risa says, I get off work at 6 p.m. today, so I'll be able to watch live streams tonight. Yay. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So, I mean, I understand this. He's like, I've checked the meds, no known issues. But I mean, I think that they could also, I mean, that's just definitely one thing I would, I'm glad you did look at that. You know, that's just one of those things. It's a very low dose. Yeah, I would just, yeah, I've always avoided going on any medications. Yeah. Travers Wolf, digestive system shutting down. You understand genetics and evolution? Yeah. I mean, we're talking about high dosage GLP-1 usage. One of the side effects is it literally causes the digestive system to shut down and just turn off. So I'm not sure, what you understand or what you know, but having an ICU nurse in the house and has seen it firsthand, I wouldn't take that lightly. But welcome. Let's see. Jerry says things changed for me when I got Kelly Hogan as a coach. She's got a handbook akin to a Bible that keeps me in line. That's fantastic. Risa says my hubby eats contraband while I'm at work, so I don't see it or smell it. If I do eat anything, it is what I bring home from work. Bring it in at 4. Then I do eat some here and there. Okay. Thank you for sharing that, Evelyn. And Sean says, chocolate bananas, keto chow waffles. And Travers says, processed food. You understand evolution and genetics, right? Many of the problems will come from the chemicals in the processed food. Are you aware of the channel you're watching right now? This is primarily a whole food channel here. So meat, eggs, bacon, that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure where you think you are, but processed food, I don't necessarily recommend. But, I was talking about GLP-1s causing those kinds of issues. But yes, processed food is not something we should be consuming on a regular basis. So have a good time with that, buddy. Thank you for being here. With. Brian says, we're all different. Different things affect everyone in different ways. You can't always have the same outcome as others. N equals one. I would recommend going zero carbs for 30 days minimum. Yeah, I mean that's typically what's going on. And Brian saying synthetic medications can affect someone. Let's see. Synthetic medications can infect someone in a very negative way and possibly non-reversible. Yeah. So, Travers, if you understand what I'm talking about, please pay attention. This is a packet of keto chow. It is a processed food. It is not actually cereal. It's a protein shake meal replacement. Relatively clean ingredients if you understand what it is. Um, if you're not into it, cool. If you're into it, fine. But you can read the ingredients all you want. You can go to ketochow.com and read those for yourself. Um, so, but yes, that's not cereal. It's a protein shake. If that's not something that you're interested in, then cool. But they're a good company. They have relatively clean ingredients, and you have to understand products like that help a lot of people maintain and not fall off the wagon and go back to all their old habits. So again, there's a lot of things out there that are maybe less optimal, but keep people on track. So you have to you have to pick your battles. You have to understand that the keto bread in the grocery store may not be the best, may not even really be keto. But for somebody who is 500 pounds, 400 pounds, trying to make a difference in their life, and they're going for that and having their bologna sandwich with their, you know, with their keto bread, is that the cleanest stuff you can eat? No. But is it better? It's a step in the right direction. And that's one thing that really bothers me is when we come in and we have to be ingredient police and we have to have, well, that's not what you should be eating. And, that's why even with something like a GLP-1, I'm not telling anybody not to use it. Understand the possible risks, understand, what's going on with it, make the decision for yourself. I'm here to share my story, hear your story, and hopefully we can all learn something along the way. But everybody needs different things as far as what they need for sustainability, all these things. Yeah. And Chris is here, one of those things like, you know, sound like to me like somebody needs to think more about how to help people and less about how they look down at others for not doing it perfectly. 100%. How do we help people? And that's one of the main reasons. What's one of my whys for doing this channel? There are 8 billion people on this planet. Would carnivore, ketovore, strict whole foods be the best for everybody? Probably. But it's probably as close to zero as you can get, statistically speaking, that you're going to get every single person doing it. You're always going to have vegetarians. You're always going to have vegans. You're going to have people who can't beat their food addiction. I come from food addiction, severe food addiction. And this way of eating has been one of those ones that's helped me kind of come back from an early grave. I was heading to one. I was in my 30s, huge, overweight, probably going to be in a grave sooner than later. But here I am turning 46 soon because I've been doing this for about 10 years. Have I lost all the weight that I want to? No. Am I open about that? Yes. This is, not a channel about perfection. This is a channel about how do we help the most people be the best they can be with what they have and what they're capable of. Nobody's perfect. Let's see. I wanted to say hi to Sherry. She came in. Where are we at? Sherry Watkins is in the house. Good morning, Sherry. I've been listening for about an hour and a half, but too much going on to get in the comment section. I came here just to say hi to all. Hit the like button. Thank you so much, Sherry. I appreciate you very much. Let's see. And Sean says, we are all here. Do not shame or berate people for eating something you wouldn't eat. 1000%. We're all here to do the proper human diet. We're here to do the best we can. I'm not perfect, so I can't expect anybody else to be perfect. I'm not even as perfect as I want to be. I'm trying to be a better person. Yeah, Reese is basically putting this over as like a meal replacement shake. You can look and bake with it, help make things. I mean, it's like it's pretty dang clean for being what it is, and they're a good company too. So let's see. Carl says, my dad found out that his diet controls his health. He learned it from keto bread at the grocery, ate it, felt like crap. His A1C started to climb, cleaned up his diet, A1C dropped back down again. Wow. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, that's the one thing is like we all understand we have to figure things out for ourselves. But if you are a person that just needs keto wraps, like you're going to get the keto little tortilla wraps that are in the grocery store, are they perfectly keto? No way. I have to avoid I have to avoid them because I'll eat 10 of them. The same thing with the keto bread. Do I have it sometimes? Yeah. I keep it in the house because our granddaughter likes sandwiches. And it's a debate. It's a debate whether the regular bread or the keto bread is better. They're probably about the same. At least I'm trying to make sure she's better. We feed her eggs and bacon and chicken and all that stuff. So. And Travers says, I was where you are 9 months ago. I was stalling and couldn't understand why, then really looked into it. I've always read ingredients now and had, yeah, and I understand that. The thing is that's great. But people have to get there on their own. There's no amount of telling people what they should or shouldn't do if it's not what they're going to be able to do. We're here just to support people. People are here trying to find answers and trying to find help and support and community. So, I mean, you know, you're welcome to join us. You're welcome to be here, but you got to just understand that we're all different and we all have different approaches. Some people are carnivore, some people are, clean keto, some people are dirty keto, some people are ketovore or whatever terminology you want to use to describe yourself. But we're all here to support and help one another without judgment. We can't judge each other because if you're judging somebody, that means they may not come back. And if they don't come back, how are you going to help them? And the goal here is to help as many people as possible. I mean, it's more than a nutrition journey, it's just a journey of self discovery. It's a journey of how to control food addiction. It's a journey on how to lose weight. It's a journey on how to get your knees to stop hurting. It's a journey on how to lower your blood pressure. It's a journey on how to get off medication. This journey is multifaceted. And it takes a village to figure this shit out. And that's what we're here. Every Sunday we're here. Again, you're welcome to join us. Just be sure to understand that we're all here doing the best we can, and we're going to do it judgment free. Jerry says, I do strongly suggest that eating out of the box exclusively is not a pH, it's not a proper human diet. Give me a pickle every once in a while. That's my thing. Like, I love pickles. I like onions. I put onions in with my steakums sometimes, you know, because sometimes convenience and is good. I like onions. So I'm never gonna be a strict carnivore. I like mustard sometimes. Dip my hot dogs in some I eat hot dogs every once in a while. Are they the best? No, but you can get a lot healthier eating hot dogs, hamburgers, bologna, and you got to do what you got to with money. Not everybody has grass-fed, grass-finished money. I like I like Walmart yellow frozen burgers. There's like yellow, red, and blue. I forget which ones are the between the red and the blue. I think it goes yellow, then red, then blue. Yellow is the cheapest. And they're tasty. And they cook up quick in a cast iron skillet. A little bit of mustard sometimes, maybe some pickles. Why not? But we're all here to make a difference in ourselves. And what that difference looks like is different for everybody. Yeah, tonight, Chris and Victor and I will be doing Keto Crusade at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Join us so you can kind of get an idea of how we all come together. Because Chris and Victor and I are going to all do different things, but we're all come together to make sure everybody has the information we have. Because not everything's going to work for everybody. And Bride's Biscuit's right. Community is better than perfection. Brian, you're out of here. Thanks for the chat, everyone. Now I need to rebuild the half bath I tore out yesterday. Well, good luck with that, my friend. Have a good one. Be safe. Yeah, community is far more important than perfection. We need people to lean on. We need people to let us know that, hey, it's going to be fine. Because if we're all doing it by ourselves and we're just out in the dark, and that doesn't do us any good. We all have situations where we have people in our lives who don't necessarily agree with what we're doing. They don't like what we're doing. They don't understand what we're doing. But we have community here, and we have, you know, similar interests here. We all want to be healthy. But what that looks like for each of us as individuals, totally different. And that's fine. We're here to help the best we can. And we help by making sure people come back. Brian said, this is like NA and AA. You just need to come in, give others little ideas that may help them. You cannot force anyone to do anything. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, it's like when I was 400 plus pounds, people were like, you're fat. No shit. That doesn't make me want to not be fat. That makes me want to go and stop and get more food because food is comfort. And you have to figure that out. You have to figure all this stuff along the way. And what I went through wasn't made necessarily what you went through or anybody else has gone through, but I'm sure there's people out there who have been very similar to me. So my channel is like it's like the white flag. It's the it's the lighthouse, the beacon, hopefully attracting more people who are going through what I've gone through. You know? And keto, Carl says. It takes a video. Every village has an idiot, and that's me. I think that's I think we can argue over that between you and me. You know. Well, I appreciate that. Not judging, trying to help. You're on the same journey I'm on. That's why I like your channel. Well, I appreciate that. As long as we got that out of the way, welcome. Rebecca is here. Hello, Rebecca. I'm glad to see you, dear. Hope you're doing good. Rebecca says it's almost evening here by us. You are all awesome. Well, thank you, Rebecca. I appreciate that. Where are you, Rebecca? Let's see. Bride's Biscuit says, changing my relationship with food was my moment of epiphany. Food is fuel, not entertainment. And I still okay, so and I'll touch on that piece there for myself. Still a struggle as lifelong carb addict, but I'm now, here clear eyed. So my thing with this is the fact that we talk about food's not entertainment. Food isn't celebration, but it is because humans have a long, long history of not having adequate food supplies. Throughout history, food has just been one of those things that we haven't always had in abundance. We live in a very different time now where food abundance is crazy. Healthy food is in short supply, but food abundance is real. And celebrating food is important. I know food is entertainment's kind of a thing that, and even as a food, a person that struggles with food addiction, I just have to be careful with the type of food that I entertain myself with. When I make my food, I sit down to watch TV and I have my burgers and my eggs or whatever the case is. I mean, it's multifaceted. We have to understand we have to because you're never going to get away from food as celebration. Food, there's always going to be food wherever we go. You go to like the amusement park, there's food. You go to like this thing, there's food. The movie theater, there's food. You go anywhere to do anything, there's almost always food because food is one of those things that we didn't have until just maybe a couple hundred years ago in abundance. And even still, even now, there's food. Even in a food desert, you still have food in abundance. You just got to drive further to get it. I don't know. But that's amazing, Rebecca. Thank you for joining in from South Africa. That's pretty awesome. I love the fact that we're just so close. And Ash says, I just want to say how truly grateful I am for Dustin, this amazing community for what you're doing makes a real difference in your heart and serve and uplift others. I'm proud to know you. Well, I'm that's that makes the world to me, Ash. Thank you so much. Let's see. It's scientifically documented that wild carnivore, wolves, etc., seek out fruit and veg supplement for their health, missing nutrients from their meat diet. They perform zoo pharmacology, adding to, yeah, that's crazy. And they've got those new dire wolves that they've created or whatever, did whatever, and they're living on like a 2,000-acre reservation type thing, and they've got to keep them locked up in this reservation because people will try to steal them. So South Africa, what's your like? Is biltong everywhere? I don't know. Like it's just one of those things. It's like I know that biltong is a South African thing. I'm just kind of curious of how much is it and around is how clean is it? Does it usually have sugar in it? Not sugar because most of our beef jerkies here are loaded down with sugar, and even the sugar free or zero sugars are they utilize like pineapple juice or pineapple powder to sweeten it. I don't understand why does it need to be sweet? I don't need sweet meat. And Chris says that food is fuel and entertainment. It has been since the beginning of the culture. That's what makes us different from animals. We're not just instinct, we're human. Yeah. And Brian's Biscuit says abundance today is different than any other, even 10 years ago, let alone 50, 100,000. I think we celebrate it today as much as verse with it. Yeah. Food science hacking, yeah, all that stuff. Yeah. Brenda Foley's in the house. Good morning, Brenda. Thank you for being here. People saying hi to Brenda. Evelyn says, "I'm making a taco keto chow cheese ball. Say that 10 times fast. For Cinco de Mayo. I'm also thinking of making coconut cream pie cupcake bites rolled in toasted coconut. Living the dream. Living the dream. Oh, I've still got coffee left. I can't even believe it. Oh, let's see. I meant to click on this one. Hold on a second. Sean says, I thought for a second you said seat meat. I wouldn't eat that either. Sweet meat. Evelyn saying, good morning to Brenda. Did you see I posted a Tamakauki recipe on Cindy's channel Facebook page? I did not see that. I just want to take a moment and say how thankful I am for coffee. Coffee is like one of my most favoriteest thing I do every day. I can't wait to have it. So good. Rise Biscuit says making the cleanest spice blend and throwing it into some shredded beef for some Cinco de Mayo goodness. Yes. I haven't even thought about Cinco de Mayo. I don't really ever think about that because it was always like Cinco de Mayo is like you're gonna go out and drink margaritas, or like St. Patrick's Day, you're gonna go out to the bars and just get trashed. It was like I never think about those kinds of things anymore. I'm gonna make Bill fudge today. I got him on the. Oh, you're gonna make Bill. Okay, you're gonna make Bill fudge. Okay, I was like, what's Bill fudge? Like, I don't even know what Bill fudge is. I don't even know what Bill fudge is even a thing. What is Bill fudge, everybody? But now I understand what it is. Lost my contrast. I hate that. There we go. There we go. Gonna make Bill some fudge today. Got him on the sweet bus for his birthday cake. Keto Chow creamy. Yeah. And he says, I'm thankful for friends every Sunday to share it with. 100%. Travis says, sweet because sucrose and fructose are addictive. It keeps you coming back and buy product is good. Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing is like it's not just that. It's not overly processed food, highly palatable over processed food. Yes, they're definitely addictive. Mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, pizzas, all that stuff. Everything is addictive. Like, I can only eat like a pound and a half of steak, but I can eat like a 4-pound pizza. Does that make any sense? It's just one of those things. Like, it's crazy. Like, I can eat like a pound of hamburger and like 6 fried eggs and be like completely full and done eating. And then if I needed to later on, I could probably throw away all, like put down a whole pizza, like 4 pounds of pizza. Yeah, but I guess it was people. I guess it was just so close to vanilla cream. There's not a huge difference between the two, I guess. Bill Fudge. What does that taste like? I don't want to know what Bill Fudge tastes like. Yeah, celebrate with family and healthy food, not neurotoxins. Quitting alcohol was the best thing I ever did. Yeah, like I quit smoking 15 years ago. I don't drink on a regular basis. Like I said, we'll drink at the wedding. We'll drink on vacation sometimes. Not crazy amounts. But, I gave up smoking, drinking. I have coffee. I have my vice of coffee, which weirdly, I didn't start drinking coffee on a regular basis till I quit smoking cigarettes. But, if you want to approximate keto chow birthday cake, use vanilla and add some almond extract. Ted fudge. I don't want Ted fudge, Bill fudge. I don't want any of that stuff. Um Rebecca says, LOL, yes. Bill Tong and that word there. Dro Wars. Unfortunately, They do use sugar when seasoning, so 1 gram per 30 grams biltong. That's crazy. 'Cause I think the biltong we have here is usually sugar free. I think that's what I just assumed that it like. I mean, but that's still not so bad. I don't know like what 30 grams is, but I mean, I know 30 grams, but it's not as easy like us, like 30 grams to 1 ounce. Like, how much is an ounce? Like, let's see. Ugh. So 30 grams is a little over, like, about an ounce. So 1 gram per ounce. That's not awful, I guess, because you're probably going to get like a 5 ounce bag. So if you eat the whole bag, it's like 5 grams. That's not terrible. Is it the best? I mean, it's better than what we have here for our beef jerky. Our beef jerky is like 9 grams per serving, so like 9 grams per ounce or some crazy thing like that. Yeah, Bridesmaid, there's always room for pizza. I think that's how it goes. Always room for JELLO. Yeah. Doesn't help carb addiction when big food makes new limited edition flavors. Stop. Who doesn't want to try limited edition flavors? Yeah, that's my thing. Like, I see, like, all the flavors of like Post Malone has an Oreo. Like, I don't want Post Malone Oreos. I mean, my cravings have gone significantly down. Now, there's times when I'm at the grocery store and I'm shopping and I'm going through the aisles and I'm doing all the stuff. And I'm like, there's just I just want something, but I have no idea what that something is. I've got the meat, I've got my bacon, I've got whatever I want. I'm looking through the aisles. What is it that I want? And I cannot figure out usually what it is that I want. So I usually just end up leaving the store or whatever. Sometimes, sometimes I just want, I'll buy and we always, like I said, we always have the keto bread in the house because of our granddaughter and her sandwiches. But sometimes I'll just buy me some bologna and have bologna sandwiches. I mean, is it the best for me? No. But I mean, yeah, it keeps me on track to a degree, and that's the whole point. Consistency. How can I maintain consistency without just going completely crazy? Bill and Ted Fudge. Bryce Biscuit says, "My vice is coffee too. I would quit one day, but I don't want it to be an informed choice." I've gone on with I've gone and had like no coffee. I've gone like over 100 days. I've gone like over 3 months without coffee, and I didn't find any significant changes or any beneficial changes to me. I just missed coffee. I miss the flavor. I miss the ritual of it. You know what I mean? I mean, now the ritual is I turn the tea kettle on, I add the butter to my cup, I add the espresso to the cup, and I pour the hot water in, pour some cream in, blend it all up, and I sit down and Shannon and I spend time together. Could we do it without coffee? Sure, but it's not the same. Like, all right, this is I look forward to coffee. Coffee tastes good. I like it. I enjoy it. My quality of life would be significantly less if I didn't have coffee. And I kind of wonder, even if there were health benefits, which would be worse for me, the lessening of the quality of life versus the added benefit or health benefit of not having coffee. That's the kind of thing that I wonder. Party on, dude. Party on, Wayne. Party on, Garth. Yeah. Jerry says, I heart coffee too, but I need a catheter and can't do coffee for at least a month. Oh, my goodness. That's terrible. I don't think there's really TMI here. You know what I mean? So Sonny's asking, does anyone find it odd that we use grams for nutritional values or ounces? I don't, because I guess like because gram is weight and so is ounces, but like it's easier for people to understand like 1 gram of carbohydrates because you figure 30 grams is an ounce. I had to look it up. I mean, we're not on the metric system, but so I mean, 30 grams is an ounce. So that means 16 times 30 is a pound, whatever. But I guess it fits, I guess. It just all kind of comes down to what makes the sense, I guess. Sean says, in the immortal words of Tina Turner, simply the best, better than all the rest. Wasn't that the song that she did for Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome? I forget which song that was for. That was a good song though. Chris says the only thing eliminating coffee took away from me was happiness. Happiness. When I went back to only side effect was return was happiness. Happiness. Um, yeah. I mean, that's just one of those things, like truly amazing. Like coffee. Like even I don't know. I mean, did I see any health benefits? Not that were noticeable, but I was sad more. Like yeah. Riser just says, "OMG, I've only gone about 5 days without coffee one time in the last 50 years." Well, when I was first started going keto, I was doing coffee, doing my, the fatty coffee, and I was trying to get off my heartburn medications. And I was like, if I can stop drinking coffee for a while, maybe I can get off the heartburn medications. So I went a good long time without having any coffee. And then when I did this carnivore challenge, a 100-day carnivore challenge because it was 100 days till the next year. And I was like, I'm gonna do this 100-day carnivore challenge. It was probably like 2022 or something like that, whatever it was, 2021, something like that. And yeah, I went without coffee and I no caffeine, no coffee. It was just sad. I didn't like it. Don't recommend it. Sonny with one Keto Simple membership, and that went to Brian Doyle. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Brian Doyle was gifted a membership by Sunday Chronicles. Fantastic. And Risa said, last night I made deli subs for the family, brought home 2 rolls for them, had mine in an egg life wrap, no chips. I keep chips in the cabinet and won't touch them. That's the hardest thing because, like, sometimes that stuff is just so good. Like, it's just difficult knowing things are there. Becky says, I like grams. I grew up with a metric system. Thank you, Evelyn. You are so sweet. I don't even know why I call you evil. Risa, I love a sub in a bowl. Yeah, sometimes that's why I like having like the chopped salads, like just like the chopped meat salads. It's kind of good, you know. We don't need another hero. That's right. Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome. Yeah, she was also the bag. Yeah, I need to go back and rewatch that because I just barely remember. Like, I remember them like shoveling pig poop and like 2 men into 1 man leave. I don't remember much else about it. I saw like Mad Max the Road Warrior a bunch when I was a kid. It was like always on TV. Brian basically said the only concern with coffee are the anti-nutrients since I have severe autoimmune conditions always on my mind. Yeah. They say the best thing to do is drink electrolytes about 30 to 45 minutes before you drink coffee. And that helps out a lot with that. I try, but I fail. I try and I fail a lot. Evelyn said, my first 45 years of life, coffee hurt me. I can drink it now because of keto. I'm not giving it up. That's right. Travis says, I'm on the fence about coffee. Many good docs say it's good, many not so much. It works for some, but not for others. That's my thing is like, yeah, like that was when I remember when I first found keto, I found Stephanie Person. She is a content creator here on YouTube. I don't necessarily know how much in our community she is. I think she's more of an outlier to our community, but she is staunchly like anti caffeine and anti coffee. So I was like, I don't like you. Not really, but you know what I mean? I was like, it just hard for me to take what she was saying seriously because I was like, no coffee? What? Crazy person. You know what I mean? But it is that's just what it is. And she doesn't show up in the circles, like she's not doing live streams on things that I see or people that I watch. So she's not in like in the community. Because I mean, there's creators. There are YouTube creators in the space, but they're not in our community. Like they have kind of their own ecosystem, their own community. And I'm not going to name them, but we all know who they are. There's people out there who just do their own thing, but they're not really involved with anything. Risa says, I keep pork rinds on the kitchen table for when I serve chips for them. Yeah. Master Blaster. That's right. Watch it 20 times a month with HBO in the 80s. Yeah. Rise Biscuit says, I watch several well established docs in our community have very different takes on coffee. At this point, I only know it's highly individualized based on studies to date. That's the thing is like I can go a little bit without coffee. Like if I like do something and I don't have coffee till too late in the evening, I probably won't have it. I'm miserable without it because I mean at that point I mean there's a caffeine addiction. Let's be real. There is an addiction quality to coffee. But even once you get past the caffeine and you haven't had caffeine and you don't really need the caffeine, there's just there's something magical about coffee. It's just delicious and it's loving and it's like a hug in a cup, you know? Yep. And Lindy's correct. I will never give up coffee. Enjoy. I will give it up for a week at a time if I'm doing a water fast or if I'm doing some kind of challenge where coffee is not optimal for me to be there or whatever. That's fine. I can deal with that. But on a long term scale, coffee is a thing for me and I need it and I want it and I love it, you know. So I just want to go ahead here and talk about again tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Join Chris, Victor, and myself for Keto Crusade live on the YouTube. Us three together talking about the things. Join us. Join us. We'll be excited to have you. Um, don't forget the Central Indiana AMO meetup is coming up quickly. That's May 24th. That's a Saturday. Go to lowcarbevents.com. Make sure you're signed up. You send your money to Jackie. All the information is there. Good morning, Lewis. Morning. Might be late, but I'm here at the moment. All right. Thank you, Lewis Stone, for being here. But yes, make sure to join in. Make sure if you can make it, let us know you're coming. There's the meetup in late June with Andy and near Cincinnati. More information on that. I think that's also on lowcarbevents.com. So be on the lookout for that. If you're interested in going to that, take a look at that. Would love to hang out with you. Yeah, Evelyn, a coffee, a hug, and a cup. Coffee is a hug and a cup. If you ever want to be hugged by a beaver around the face, you know what to do. Um, but yeah, all the good things coming up. I've got videos coming out. I've been working, trying to make more videos, trying to do the thing, trying to be an actual creator here, making content. Be sure to go and watch my content, please. Go and watch my watch episodes that I put out. Thank you for being here. Truly appreciate you. Again, thank you, Sean, for the super chat. Thank you again so much, Sonny, for the donated membership. And thank you again, all you, for being here. Travers talking about Nick Norwitz. I love Nick. He's great. We'll see you all again tonight. I'm going to go for now. It's been 2.5 hours. My coffee's almost gone. I'm out of here. Thank you all so very much. I love you all. Here's the credits, and we'll see you soon.